evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to another edition of the Desert Gridiron Game Plan here on the Epic Sports Network, and welcome into all of you folks watching us tonight on Twitch as well. We're also coming to you on the NFHS Network and our Epic Sports Network YouTube channel. But guys, another exciting week of Arizona high school football. Our game, of course, coming up on Friday night features the Pinnacle Pioneers and the Salpointe Catholic Lancers. And then we're going to also talk about another open division playoff matchup this Friday night between a battle of lions, the Liberty Lions hosting the Red Mountain Lions. Another exciting week of football.
Yeah, guys, our game should be really good at Pinnacle, Jamal. This is a team, these two teams just met 2 weeks ago at Pinnacle. So we always say familiarity breeds contempt. Well, I think there's probably a lot of contempt between these two football teams. As Salpointe Catholic, they're making another trip up here. Last week, they went up and went to Queen Creek, knocked them off, knocked ALA Queen Creek off. So they're used to these types of road trips. So they are road warriors, and they're like, hey, let's just gas up the buses and let's head on up to Pinnacle. Let's go.
Yeah, and being the 8th seed, and you're gonna have to go win on the road if you want to go all the way, and you're gonna have to do it consistently. And this is just a start for them. And you mentioned they played 2 weeks ago, so they already know a lot of what they may or may not already be going to do. And for that to happen, it's absolutely wonderful to see. Again, it's going to be physical, it's going to be nasty. It's playoff football. Playoff football, there's nothing better.
Well, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Let's welcome in Coach Ryden and Noah Bonney joining us here on the program. Coach, thank you so much for your time. We certainly appreciate you guys joining us. Break the season down for us, as we're excited to have your playoff game on our broadcast network this Friday night. And you guys got a great matchup against those Pinnacle Pioneers. Just talk to us about the mood and the temperament of the Salpointe Catholic Lancers right now.
Yeah, our guys are excited right now. First of all, thanks for having us. Like I said, our guys are super excited. You know, I think they came back from Phoenix after that first game, maybe with a little bit of confidence, and you know that kind of carried us into last week's game. And so you know we're just working hard, preparing as hard as we can for Pinnacle. They're a heck of a football team, and they present a lot of challenges for us. And but our kids are excited to get up there and play.
Coach, you knocked off Queen Creek last week by 15, held in the 8 points. So your defense was on point. Your rushing game was really strong, 220 yards rushing. Kind of break down what happened last Friday night at Queen Creek. And you got a big victory as you move on and take on Pinnacle, as we mentioned, a team you just met 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you know, last week, again, our kids just came out fired up and ready to go. And as you mentioned, our defense played really, really well. Our coaches did a great job leading into that game, you know, and had a great scheme. And you know, it's our offensive line. You know, we ran the ball well consistently, and you know, obviously we'd have liked to score a few more points. And you know, it's kind of been a little bit of our struggle this year. We haven't scored. You know, I don't know what we're averaging, but you know, we definitely have dropped off maybe a little bit from last year, and so that's been a little bit of a struggle for us. We scored a touchdown last week on defense against Pinnacle. We scored a touchdown on defense. So, but you know, we're gonna hopefully get it going this week and be a little bit more productive.
Coach, going into Pinnacle once again, Ed mentioned a few minutes ago, you guys faced them 2 weeks ago, but this is a playoff atmosphere, so it's going to be a little different. What's the message to your team going into, I'm sure, what's going to be a wild crowd, an electric atmosphere like that? What's the message to the team?
Yeah, you know, well, first of all, nobody's going to pick us to win. You know, everybody expects us to lose this game, as you know, as far as in the media and you know, like I said, Pinnacle's a heck of a football team, but you know, our guys know what's at stake. We win and we get to move on and you know, play in the semifinals and have a chance to go play for a state championship. And you know, you lose and your season's over. So you know, I think for every team, you know, I think you know, the level of play and you know, your effort in these games is definitely increased.
Coach, you brought along one of your stud defensive tackles with you tonight, Noah Bonney. Tell us about this young man and what he means to the Lancers defensive front. We all know it starts up front in this game of football, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, Noah's a tremendous player for us, and I really think that he probably had his best game that I've seen in a long time, maybe his best game since he's been at Salpointe last week. And you know, he played very, very well against Pinnacle. Noah's been a 4-year starter for us. He's gotten better every year, and he's going to have some opportunities at the next level. And again, he's everything for us up front defensively, and that's really, it starts with him.
Noah, that speaks a lot that you are a 4-year starter at Salpointe Catholic. It says a lot about the program, one of the preeminent high school programs in the country. But for you to say, okay, I want to stick my entire career here, I want to be at Salpointe Catholic for my entire 4 years. What is it about the program that's kept you interested and kept you engaged to be there for 4 years?
I would just say the community and everything that surrounds the football team. All the alumni are so involved with us, and it just means so much. And also the strength coach, the best strength coach in the country, I think. So those are the main reasons I've played my 4 years here.
Noah, to kind of build off of that point, what's the culture like in the locker room, and what's the atmosphere like going into not only just the playoff game, but really the mindset the entire season?
I think this team has been really close all year. Like, we all grew up playing with each other, so we know each other. We're really close. We're really tight knit, and everyone's really excited for this week. We have a great, amazing opportunity, so we're excited to get out there and really show the world.
Noah, talk to us a little bit about the coaching staff there at Salpointe. Coach Ryden and the assistant coaches there. How have they poured into you and helped you become a better football player?
It's just one of the best coaching staff in the city. So, it's very hard, tough nose, but they'll get after you. But we know it's all out of love, and they're all really smart, teaching us. They teach us, and then they'll rip you, but then we know that's out of love, and it gets us better. So, the best coaching staff in the city.
Noah, you lead the defense in TFLs and sacks, 14 TFLs, 5.5 sacks. Do you embrace being a leader and guiding this defense to where it is right now?
Yeah, I do, but I also feel like I lead because all the people around me do their job, and they allow me to really make the plays that I do, and everyone else makes big plays too. So,
Coach, I want to ask you about guys like Noah and just kind of the example that he sets, being a guy that's been there all 4 years, and how nice it is to have guys that stay there all 4 years, be the leader that he's been, and have the impact that he's had as long as he's been there.
Yeah, the nice thing with Salpointe is, we have a heck of a tradition here, and so the guys that came even before Noah, and Noah's been a great role model for the guys that are young guys coming in right now, the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, and again, I think it goes back to just this program's established. I've been here 6 years now, and 2 years as the head coach. But Coach Benet did an outstanding job setting the tone here, and Coach Rogers, carried on, and so I think that foundation has been here for a long time, and Noah's done a great job at just making sure the guys know what Salpointe football is all about.
Noah, Coach mentioned the tradition of greatness there at Salpointe Catholic with the football team. And you look at a young man like our good friend Bajan Robinson, the back-to-back Ed Doherty Player of the Year winner here in the Grand Canyon State, who's gone on to be a prolific running back in the National Football League. What does that say to you when you look at something like that and say, hey, if he can do it, so can I?
I feel like it just speaks numbers to the community at Salpointe, and the players that come through here are really like really high ranking players, I guess, and guys like Elijah Rushing and people that I've played with, Keanu Wilhite at Nebraska, just shows that if, like you said, if they do it, I could do it too, and it gives me a lot of confidence, and yeah.
Noah, in getting prepared for Queen Creek last week and now getting prepared for Pinnacle, 2 road games, has your preparation physically and mentally changed, knowing you're in the playoffs and everything is elevated and every mistake is magnified and every great thing you do is magnified?
I mean, I'd say I don't think it's changed, but I definitely think that my mindset going into it has a bit, like, I've been more focused and locked in, because and our whole team too, like, we all know it's do or die, so we know we have to get it done, or we're going to go home, and I don't want to go home my senior year. So
No, this is kind of a two-parter. When you're obviously on the line, do you think you are better rushing the passer or defending the run? And at the same time, where do you think you need to get better at?
I think that I'm a run stopper first. Like I'll get into the person in front of me and really stop the run. But I feel like my pass rush is also up there. But I definitely think I could get better at pass rush, get faster, get quicker.
Coach, we've seen the rise of Southern Arizona football over the past few seasons with even new schools like Micah Mountain coming in and making an immediate impact. What are your thoughts on the significance of that escalation of Southern Arizona football?
Oh, did we lose him?
I think we might have lost Coach. So we'll send that over to Noah. Noah, when you think about the rise of football in the southern part of the Grand Canyon State, not only schools like you guys, but Cienega, schools like Micah Mountain playing really well. What does that say to teams up here in the valley that look down there and say, hey, there's some really good football down there in the southern part of the state?
I think it just puts them on notice. They need to watch out for us. They need to know that it's not just Valley that's getting after it. We're getting after it down here too. We have dogs down here too. So that's what I think.
No, this team is battle tested. You're 6-5, not the best of records, and not the record you clearly want. You would have loved to have been 11-0 coming into this game, but you played Red Mountain, you played Mesa, you played Basha, you played Perry, you played Pinnacle. All those losses. Those are 5 of the best teams in the state. So, do you feel you're battle tested and you are ready to come back up here to the Valley and knock off the Pioneers and move on?
The Pioneers are a great team, but we know we're battle tested. Like you said, we've played great teams, and they've played great teams too. So it's going to be a dogfight, I think.
No, is there a player in college or even the NFL that you like to model your game after? You watch film on this player and you kind of take some stuff and add your own kind of twist on it?
I feel like I've always admired the way Aaron Donald played. So I definitely say Aaron Donald, or maybe guys like Byron Murphy, the junior, guys like that, really good at stopping the run. Jalen Carter, guys like that, like versatile run stopper, get to the quarterback.
Coach, glad to have you back in here. I wanted to ask you really quick, what exactly, Coach, is your opinion on the rise of Southern Arizona football? We got teams like Micah Mountain that have come in and played really well in just a couple short seasons. And, there's some great players down the southern part of the state. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that really when you look at programs like that, I think it's consistency in their coaching staff. You talk about Micah Mountain, and Pat Nugent came in there and did a fantastic job. He's a guy that I worked a long time with, a veteran coach, and established a great program there in a short amount of time. And then now Jay Campos has taken that over. But Jay, was at Sabino for a long time prior to that. If you look at the programs now that are on the rise a little bit down here, and it's been kind of nice. I'll to tell you the truth, it's we want to play the best schools in Tucson, and this year we had Moran on our schedule again. We'll try to continue to keep them on our schedule. Coach Stewart out there has done a fantastic job. They're back in the playoffs playing for a state championship this year. And but I think it's just mostly consistency. And a lot of these other schools down here have had a real hard time keeping coaches. But hopefully they can hold on to some, because there's some good coaches down here, some good players.
Coach, we are certainly looking forward to your game this Friday night as you guys take on the Pinnacle Pioneers in the northern part of the Phoenix Valley. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Of course, defensive tackle Noah Bonney joining us as well here this evening. Thank you, Noah, as well for joining us, and we will see you guys on Friday evening over there at Pinnacle High School.
All right, guys. Thanks for having us.
Stay with us. More of the Desert Gridiron Game Plan coming up after the break. Get ready to feel the burn in Phoenix's newest hotspot. Hot Chicken Alley brings the sizzling Nashville-style hot chicken straight to your plate. Our finger-licking sandwiches will set your taste buds on fire. Come join us for a taste of Nashville right here in Phoenix at the corner of Tatum and Thunderbird. Brace yourself for a flavor explosion that'll keep you coming back for more. Hot Chicken Alley, a proud supporter of Thursday Night Football, right here on the Epic Sports Network.
On game day, communication is everything. Procom offers the most powerful, most reliable headsets on the market. Paired with our state-of-the-art coach-to-player communication tools, your team is sure to dominate. It's time to communicate like a pro. Visit us at procomheadsets.com.
All Insurance has been serving Arizona drivers for over 30 years, so we have the experience to take great care of you. We can help you over the phone or face-to-face from one of our 30 convenient valley-wide locations. We represent all of the top carriers, so we do the shopping for you. Find out why we're the most referred agency in Arizona. All Insurance, insurance for all.
It starts with a dream and a desire to be the best. You got the talent, you got the drive, and the work ethic. But to get recruited, it takes more than that. You need a playbook. That's where Recruit ID comes in. Our digital tools connect you with college programs that are fast, easy, and effective. Your dream is closer than you think. Let's get you seen. Visit recruitid.net and take your recruitment to the next level.
Discover more Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino.
Hi folks, here are your drinks.
Where having fun means racking up reward credits with the Caesars Rewards loyalty program that can be redeemed for food, free play, hotel stays, and more. Not only here in the city of Maricopa, but also at more than 50 Caesars properties coast to coast. From Harrah's Las Vegas to Caesars Palace in Atlantic City. What are you waiting for? Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino, the official sponsor of Play.
We welcome you back to the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. James Spoovy alongside Mr. Ed Cole and Jamal Gumo. Guys, Salpointe Catholic coming to the Valley on Friday to battle those Pinnacle Pioneers. And unfortunately, Pinnacle not able to join us here tonight on the show, but Coach Zupke, as we know, has a lot of talent over there. We were over there for spring football earlier this year, and they're loaded up again, but we'll see what kind of challenges they pose this Friday night to the Salpointe Catholic Lancers.
You know, Jamal, it's amazing that we saw them September 11th. It was so long ago at Corona del Sol. You remember that? When they were in the midst of a 3-game streak of shutting out teams. They beat Corona that night 35-0. Then they went 7-4. We talked about the game 2 weeks ago where they beat Salpointe Catholic 28-21. That was a tight game. But, man, time flies. It's a long season. They're already in their 12th game of the season, and they're getting ready to do battle with a team they just faced 2 weeks ago in their own building.
Yeah, I can't believe how fast it's flown by, fellas. I mean, it's, you know, it's cliche, but time flies when you're having fun. And it feels like that game that we saw Pinnacle and Corona del Sol was just a few weeks ago, but that was already 10 weeks ago. But yeah, this Pinnacle team is loaded. This Pinnacle team is loaded, and we saw them already this season. And I think where it starts for Pinnacle, fellas, is the run game. Once they get, I mean, their game against, they just beat, they lost to Williamsfield, but they ran for 153 yards on the ground for over almost 8 yards a carry. So I think that's where it's all going to start for Pinnacle. And I'm going to be interested to see if they're able to do that this week against Salpointe.
Yeah, if they get that run game going to you know that'll open up a lot of those passing lanes as well. And they got talented wide receivers outside as well for Pinnacle. So we'll see what they're able to do. You talk about more of the playoffs as we take a look at this 6A bracket right here. Of course, our game on Friday night features Salpointe Catholic at Pinnacle. We'll have that for you live on the NFHS Network, 6:30 p.m. for the pregame show. And then you take a look at Higley and Castile, an interesting 4 and 5 matchup. That'll be out there in Queen Creek at the home of the Castile Colts. Perry will take on ALA Queen Creek in Queen Creek. So 2 big games down there in the QC. And then Mesa, Jackrabbits, of course, we saw them last week, a very talented, hard-nosed football team behind Coach Jeremy Hathcock. They'll take on the Centennial Coyotes. Of course, we saw Centennial back on October 30th for our final Thursday night football game of the regular season. And Coach Andrew Taylor doing a really good job over there this year as well.
Oh, yeah, these are all really good games. We saw Rio Arnett go off last week. We saw that defense. They had to come back against Highland. Jamal, remember they were down 15-0, and then second half, their defense really shut down Highland, only give up 9 points, and then their offense rolls up. So they're going to have to do more of that. Hopefully, at least for the Jackrabbits, do not get down early to the Coyotes because they will bury you, especially out here on the west side. If they come out here to Centennial, if they come out to Glendale, they will get the doors blown off of them.
Oh, 100%. And all the meanwhile, they lost their starting quarterback. And Derek Carr came in and played really, really well. So I'm not sure the status of their starting quarterback, Mesa, that is, going into this week against Centennial. But listen, it's going to be competitive. It's going to be competitive in every single game. And obviously, of course, we're looking forward most to our game, Salpointe Catholic at Pinnacle. But all these games are going to be competitive, and they're going to be, some of them might be high scoring and some of them might be just nasty defensive games. And so that's what the playoffs is, though. And so anything can happen, especially in Arizona high school football and the talent that we have here. But I'm looking forward to the entire weekend, fellas. It's going to be a great one.
You know, when you talk about the game we're going to talk about here in just a little bit, as we'll have a couple of Red Mountain Lions joining us here at the bottom of the hour, and that's going to be fun. I cannot wait to visit with them. A little bit of memory lane, as Ed and I are, of course, former Red Mountain broadcasters from back in the day out there, of course, before they had AC in the press box, which they have now, Ed. We got to get out there next season and check out a game on a Friday night out there at Power and Brown, my friend. That'd be a good time. Just go out, hang out, enjoy things, and enjoy it, right?
That should be a good one because, look at Red Mountain. They came back against ALA Queen Creek last week, knocked them off. So now they're going to take on Liberty. Liberty had the bye week, of course, because they're the number 3 seed. So that should be a good one. 6 against 3. Jamal, that's going to be a really good one. I would love to be at Liberty to watch that football game, but we'll be busy that night. But we will check in, of course, give plenty of scores. But yeah, the battle of the Mountain Lions and the Lions, that should be really good.
Yeah, the kings of the jungle. That's what the lion is, the king of the jungle. And so these are 2 kings going at it. And who's going to come away with the throne? And who's going to come away with the crown? So that's going to be a fantastic matchup. 2 big physical teams, teams that emphasize the line of scrimmage a ton. So again, that's gonna be a fantastic matchup. Like you mentioned, Ed, 6-3 matchup. I mean, you can't get much closer than that unless it's a 4 or 5. So I'm looking forward to it, JP.
As we take a look at the rest of this open division bracket, I'm excited to see as well Hamilton doing battle on Friday night against Mesa Mountain View. Coach Litton has the Toros playing really well, but what can you say about Coach Dixon and the job he's done there in his first season with the Hamilton Huskies? My goodness.
Goodness gracious, yes. But you look at the score. They beat Centennial last week 22-14 in a tightly contested defensive game. Now they get to go to the home of the Huskies. My goodness, that's going to be a tall order, Jamal, for the Mountain View Toros to go in there and knock off one of the best teams in the entire country.
Yeah, Hamilton's a monster. Hamilton's a monster. And to beat Hamilton, you can't make any mistakes. The margin of error is so ridiculously slim because of how that much, Ed. And to that point, you can't turn the ball over. You got to execute at the highest level you possibly can because, again, the margin of error is so slim. And so that's going to be another interesting matchup to see if Hamilton goes down. But that's going to be, I'm looking forward to. Again, just another great weekend of football.
And then you got Brophy. You talk about a 4 and 5. Brophy Prep taking on Chandler. Coach Ty Wisdom in his first season there at the helm for Chandler, and Coach Jewell doing a really good job there as well for the Brophy Broncos. So that's an interesting matchup there over at Austin Field in Chandler. I'm excited for that one. And then you got Williamsfield taking on the juggernaut in the Basha Bears. And I tell you what, you talk about having to play a perfect game. You have to play a perfect game if you're going to beat those Basha Bears.
Right. So Williamsfield knocks off Pinnacle. And then, oh, by the way, congratulations. Now you have to face the Basha Bears in the next round. Good luck with that. Goodness gracious.
That's the playoffs. That's the playoffs. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And Basha is indeed the best, just like Hamilton and just like a lot of these other schools. And again, it's going to be competitive. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be amazing to see how hard some of these teams fight in order to go beat these behemoths of high school football teams that we have here in Arizona.
And JP, like Jamal said, it's always going to be key for every one of these football games. Can you run the football? Like Jamal said, do not turn the football over, force turnovers, convert on third downs, everything we talk about. Special teams get returns, kick the ball well. You got to play solid defense. You got to play solid offense. It's got to be almost a picture perfect game. If you want to knock off Hamilton, Basha, Liberty, whoever you're facing, these are the ingredients that you have to mix into your bowl if you want to move on and potentially win a state title.
You know how we adjust those keys to the game every single week, Ed, for our broadcast? You can almost leave those keys the same here when it comes to the playoff because just like you guys said, you got to establish the line of scrimmage up front. You got to play sound defense. You got to be really good tacklers in the playoffs because 1 or 2 missed tackles could be the difference between turning your pads in on Monday and getting to play another game of football.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that I think is going to be one of the bigger points. The other one is staying ahead of the sticks, because if you're going to get to third down, you have to make sure that they're manageable third downs. Because if you get to some of these teams like Basher, like Hamilton, if you're facing a third and long against those teams, the chances of you coming off the field is very, very high. So if you can stay within that 3rd and 5 or less range the whole day, you have a good chance of winning this game, especially if you execute in a high level. But that's going to be the biggest thing. It's easier said than done, but we're going to see if some of these teams can do it.
And then we rewind to a week ago at Mesa, our game. Mesa, they got down 15-0. If you want to move and advance in these playoffs, you cannot get down that big. You got to get up 15-0 and then let your defense do their part. You know your offense is already doing their thing if they got part of the 15 points. But if your defense got all of it, but still, the point is play with the lead instead of behind.
Yes, the worst thing you can do in the playoffs is having to play catch up the entire game, and now you got to toss your perfect game plan that you had ready to go for this team. It all goes out the window because now everything goes to desperation mode, and now you're taking chances that you might not otherwise take, and so on and so forth. You know how it goes from there. It kind of trickles downhill. We take a look at the 5A bracket. Of course, there's about 78 teams, I think, in the 5A playoffs this season. As you can see, it's a full
There's
page
a lot of teams
here.
right.
And you got Desert Mountain taking on Desert Edge on Friday night. That's going to be a great one. The Horizon Huskies have to travel south. A 4-5 matchup there as they'll go down and take on the Marana Tigers. Canyon View takes on Desert View. How about the Desert View Jaguars this year? An absolutely amazing season for them in the 5A. And then Arizona College Prep and ALA Gilbert North. What other matchups intrigue you guys?
All of them.
That's a great answer.
When you look at matchups, for me, I always usually look at a 4-5 to see who's in that one, because they're more kind of maybe more evenly matched than a 1 and a 9. No disrespect to Desert Mountain, but Desert Edge is Desert Edge. They are absolute juggernauts. And then they have to go to Goodyear to take on the Desert Edge Scorpions. Desert Mountain's had a great season, but wow, talk about a tough order, Jamal, for them to come to the west side about 5 minutes from here and take on the Scorpions. But Horizon and Marana, you mentioned JP. Horizon's got to go down south to take them on. That is going to be a really good game. I'm definitely looking for us to be doing some look-ins on Friday night to kind of catching up on these games. But Jamal, what's catching your eye? I mean, seriously, for me, all of them are, but it's hard to really pinpoint one.
That's a good point, Ed. And you mentioned Desert Edge and Desert Mountain. That's honestly the game I'm keeping the closest eye on. Is the main reason why is because Desert Edge, in terms of the playoffs so far, they've kind of had not too tough of Cienega they kind of had their way with a couple times, and they're the reigning champions. And so, do you get satisfied? Do you kind of start sleepwalking? And so if they're able to stay on edge, I mean, again, we've talked about Desert Edge all year, fellas. This is a monster of a football team and probably one of the most, if not the most talented football team in the state. And the problem is they know that and the other teams know that, but can they be at their best all the time? Can they not get satisfied? Can they not sleepwalk? Can they not get confident? Can they stay with their foot on the gas pedal? And that's my curiosity. That's where that lands on Desert Edge and Desert Mountain to see if they can keep it up.
There are a lot of potential upsets that could happen this coming weekend, but I don't think any would be any bigger than if Desert Mountain were able to get over on Desert Edge in front of their home crowd over there in Goodyear. That would be a monumental upset, I should say, in the Arizona high school football season circa 2025, if you want my honest opinion.
It would, but Coach MacArthur is going to have those guys ready, and those guys themselves are going to be ready. And Jamal, we know this. If you can't motivate yourself as a player to go on the football field at home, handle your business, and move on to the semifinals in your region, then what are you playing for?
Yep. You have to be internally motivated to play football, period, to play sports, period. And there's some things you can't coach. That's one of them. Like I coach youth basketball. I tell my kids all the time, I can't coach you to play hard. That's not, I can tell you all the schemes. I can tell you what plays to run. I can't tell you to play hard. I can't coach you to play hard. And that's what Coach MacArthur is telling them, I'm sure. But again, Coach MacArthur is a guy that you want to play for. And so and they've shown it all year. And I like you guys mentioned, he's going to have those guys ready to play.
No doubt about it. We will take a brief commercial timeout, and when we return, we will visit with a few Red Mountain mountain lions. Stay with us. More of the show after the break. Get ready to feel the burn in Phoenix's newest hotspot. Hot Chicken Alley brings the sizzling Nashville-style hot chicken straight to your plate. Our finger-licking sandwiches will set your taste buds on fire. Come join us for a taste of Nashville right here in Phoenix at the corner of Tatum and Thunderbird. Brace yourself for a flavor explosion that'll keep you coming back for more. Hot Chicken Alley, a proud supporter of Thursday Night Football, right here on the Epic Sports Network. We welcome you back to the Desert Gridiron Game Plan here on the Epic Sports Network. I'm all smiles because our next guests come to us from Red Mountain High School at the corner of Power and Brown Road. Jamison Wade and Kai Jackson joining us here on the program. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time tonight. We certainly appreciate you joining us. We're not sure if Coach Indy's going to be able to pop in here with us. He said he would if he could, but we're excited to talk to you guys. Kai, we're going to start with you. Just tell us about the season out there for Red Mountain as you guys are gearing up for those Liberty Lions.
What's going on, man? I mean, the season's been going well. We went into the playoffs 8-2, and then we got a great scene for the Open. And honestly, we're right where we want to be. The season's been going well. I'm excited for it.
Kai, you've had a really solid season, almost 900 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns. The fact that you can run the football, and we know how important running the football is in the playoffs, how essential it is to an offense and to a football team's success. Talk about the running game and how integral it has been to you going 9-2 so far this season.
I mean, it's been a major part. I feel like Red Mountain's been known for running the ball. And also, I mean, I first five games, I was even playing running back. I was playing corner for the first 5. And so I really didn't get to start getting as into it, as like playing running back until the last 5 games. But it's definitely a huge part of our offense. That's what we want to do. That's what we base our offense around.
Kai, I'm really glad you mentioned that. So obviously being a running back, you have to be pretty close to that offensive line. Now that you've had 5 games to kind of build that relationship, what is your relationship like with your offensive line?
Oh, it's 100% gotten way stronger. I mean, I've always, like last year I was playing running back, so I'm familiar for a few of them, but it's obviously got a lot stronger for these last few games. And honestly, the whole line is in general, we're all just getting better. So it's been good, honestly. We've been really getting together.
Kai, I've got to ask you, there's an outstanding tradition, as you mentioned, of running backs coming out of Red Mountain High School over there with the Lawson boys and Lance Lawson and Lennox Lawson. And then you got guys that, I mean, there is such a tradition of football over there at Red Mountain. What does it mean to you to carry that torch and that legacy over there for the Mountain Lions?
I mean, I was playing with some of those guys, so I feel like I got to learn from some of them also, but also I really wanted to create my own legacy and not surpass. My goal was to surpass them. Obviously, I haven't had as much time to do it, but I wanted to, make my own legacy for Red Mountain.
Jamison, let me shift over to you. Crazy numbers for you: 121 tackles this season, 14 TFLs, 6 sacks. Your entire defense has been so solid this year. For you to have that leadership role, to put up these kind of numbers at that middle linebacker spot, what does it mean for you to be that impactful on defense for the Mountain Lions?
Yes, sir. It means the world. I mean, our head coach, Kyle Enders, does a great job at putting me in great positions to make great plays. And, I want to be able to do it without the whole team. But it's definitely been a blast this year, the senior year, to have what I feel like is a breakout season. I know I've been playing high school football for a long time now, but I feel like this has definitely been my best showing yet. So it's just been awesome to win this year with the guys and to be able to make as many plays as I have. It's been great, and we're ready to keep it rolling this week.
Jamison, your role on the defense, obviously Ed just kind of mentioned your impact, but being the middle linebacker, being, as a lot of people say, the quarterback of the defense, how important is communication within the entire 3 levels of the defense that you play with?
Yes, sir. I mean, it's very important. I pride myself in being a smart guy on the defensive side of the ball, and Coach Enders will tell you, can kind of call the plays out there. I take pride in lining up the front 7 and making sure where we're supposed to be. If we have a mental mistake, I kind of take the blame myself for the whole defense. And so I take a lot of pride in it, and yeah, I pride myself on being a smart linebacker, and I think that'll help me throughout the rest of my college career further than high school. And yeah, it definitely means a lot to me. It's definitely important.
Jameson, how much have you gotten to see Coach Andy when he played at Red Mountain High School? You know, of course, he's a legend over there on campus, and he was a pretty good linebacker there for the Mountain Lions. How does he kind of impart all of his linebacker wisdom onto you?
I like you calling him Coach Endy. I might have to bring that out. He might think that's funny. But yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. What did they have when he was playing, like VHS tapes or something? I don't know how much film I've seen of him.
Barely.
I don't know how much film I've seen of him playing, but I know he was a dude. But yeah, he's to be honest with you, he's the best football mind I've ever been around for sure. Like I've never been around a guy that knows the X's and O's like that. You get the guy on a whiteboard, it's crazy. So him having me for 4 years, all credit to him. I would not be even close to the football player that I am without him today. And I really think he has done a great job of molding me and our whole defense, honestly, to playing together. But most of my football knowledge comes from that guy, and I'm super appreciative to have him, who was a good player and best coach I've ever been around. So it's definitely a big part of the player I am today.
You know, Jameson, I can just marvel just watching you play. So I got to ask Kai a question, although I'm just kind of mesmerized by your play here. But Kai, for you, this is your 12th game. It's been a long season. Your preparation to get to this point, the second round of the playoffs, you're that much closer to the state championship berth, possibly for you. For you to grow yourself and your brothers grow, and the relationships that you've built over these 4 months or over this entire process to get you here, how important has that been to you to build this bond with your brothers, have so much fun? You know, it's been ups and downs, but still, you guys just ride and die for each other.
I mean, honestly, like Anders has told us from the start, like we have a really tight group. He says it's the tightest group he's ever coached, and honestly, it's really that's brought to the field. I feel like, but I mean, really, like the biggest thing for us going forward, I feel like we need to put a whole game together. Like that's cleaning up in practice. We honestly have not put a full game together the whole season, and I generally feel like as soon as we can, like bring it all together at like the entire team and put a full game together, generally we can play with anyone.
Jameson, if I could, you kind of spoke on it a little bit a few minutes ago, but you, again, being the leader of the defense, how important is accountability? So not only, if your teammate makes a good play, you be the first one over to go dap him up, go let him know how good of a play he made. But if he made a mistake, it's just as important to go let him know you can't do this. Like that has to change. How important is that to you and to your defense as a whole?
Sorry. Yes, sir. It's definitely very important. We definitely hold ourselves accountable, hold ourselves to a higher standard. And if there's guys continuing to make the same mistake, we definitely let them know as players and try to fix it right away. But to be honest with you, we try to keep ourselves more out of it in a sense of picking our guys up, because we have position coaches that are great. Coach JP for the linebackers, Coach Kelly for the D line, Rungy for the safeties. They get on their guys, and just kind of preaches to us like, pick your teammates up and we'll bring them down. So like, when we're in game and you make a mistake, kind of more importantly, like going up to them and be like, hey man, forget about it, you're good, next play. And we trust our guys a lot. Everyone that's on the field is a great football player. So I think more importantly, we pick our guys up and we let the coaches kind of coach them up. You know what I mean?
This is really a question for both of you guys. When you look at a Liberty Lions team and the success they've had, I'm wearing the 2019 state championship game shirt from when you guys battled them out at Sun Devil Stadium. And that's really when that Liberty dynasty started, was that season in those playoffs. And you think of the success that they've had. How do you kind of tune that success out and say, hey, you know what? Like Kai said a minute ago, if we put a complete game together, we can beat anyone.
I'll take this first. I mean, I've kind of been preaching to the guys all week. Like, if you just tell yourself you're just as good as the guy lined up across from you, I promise you are. So just coming into this game with uber confidence. And, everyone's going to say, they haven't lost a game to an Arizona team in X amount of years. To be honest with you, if you know anything about Red Mountain football, we don't really D1 offers, all that. We don't take that into account for that. We show up and we play football and we play tough. So to be honest with you, play a full game. Like Kai said, we haven't done it all year and we've still been finding ways to win. So we put it together this week, and it's going to be bad for them. And we're gonna keep it rolling. It's gonna be bad for any other team that's in front of us.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like you was saying, like, hold on, I just completely blanked. But no, generally though,
Refresh him, JP. What was your
Oh,
question?
you're
yeah, sorry
good.
about
You're
that.
good.
Say it again.
Oh, you're good. I was just wondering how you guys, you look at Liberty and the success that they've had. How do you
Oh
kind of say,
yeah,
hey, it's not really about them. This is about us and what we're going to do on Friday night.
right. Yeah, we're gonna going into the game. We've been the whole entire team the whole week. Like none of us have been fearing that if you could go into the game not confident because their record or the amount of D1 players having a team, like, that has never bothered us or like been on our mind because we've naturally been playing with that the last 4 years the whole time. So it's like, I mean, we're going into this league with a lot of confidence. End of the day, like, we all bleed red, so we're all human. We're not scared of them, so we're generally ready for it. I'm excited for this week.
Fellas, here's a question for both of you. Let's flash back to a week ago, LA Queen Creek. You got the 7-point win. Kai, I'll start with you. 139 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns, a receiving touchdown. So you came up big, 3 touchdowns, the big running game, and then Jamison, 14 tackles, 2.5 TFLs, a sack. Both of you guys came up and produced on both ends of this football game for your team to help you get a victory. Kai, what did it mean for you to get this opening game win, come out and perform at a high level? And then Jameson, you can follow up and talk about your game you had last week.
I mean, it was great. I mean, a big part of it, big shout out to the O-line. I mean, the week prior to that, we had some issues with our center breaking his hand. There was a lot of issues on O-line, but we got our back together. And shout out to them. I couldn't have done any of that without them in the first place. But generally, with getting the O-line together, again, our run game, that generally was able to push the offense. And I mean, I was able to do what I can do. We moved the ball down the field and came out with the win.
Sir, and yeah, I mean, it was great. Our whole defense played a pretty good game. It's always great to go out there and make plays. My teammates kind of expect it from me, and so it's always fun. But as a whole defense, we kind of came together that game and played really good. I know we gave up 21 points, but if you went back and watched the game, we were definitely balling out, and it was super fun. Just to be honest, call out. Don't really like those guys at ALA, so always good to win over them. And that was second one of them over them of the season, so it's always great. And we're right where we wanted to be in the Open.
Kai, now that you spent half the season, just about half the season at corner, and now you spent the second half of the season at running back, where do you enjoy? I'm gonna put you on the spot. Where do you enjoy most? Do you enjoy playing running back more, or do you enjoy playing cornerback, that defensive back, taking away stuff more?
Oh, 100% a running back. That's what I wanted to play my whole high school career and like what I've practiced. I mean, corner is fun, defense is cool and all, but definitely running back. Scoring touchdowns, no feeling like that. 100%.
Final question for you two gentlemen, and I'll have you both answer. I guess, Kai, you can go first. Sum it up really quickly. What's it going to take to get over and get a win on Friday night?
I mean, honestly, like I said earlier, we have to put a whole game together. Obviously, this will probably be our hardest game of the season, and we can't just expect it to show up and like go through the motions. So, but I feel like as soon as we come out with some energy, and practice has been good all week. We come out with some energy, put a whole game together. We could definitely come out with a win. Sure.
Yeah, I would just say we just need to show up and play a clean game. Minimize mistakes. And like I said earlier, I think obviously it's a bigger game and it's a playoff game and they're a good team, but in a sense, it's just another game. We have nothing to lose. Come into it with the energy, like Kai said, play our football, play Red Mountain football, and I think we'll be just fine.
Last one for me, fellas. You both are seniors. Jameson, I'll start with you. What would it mean for you to obviously beat Liberty and run through the Open, get a championship in your senior year? So, Jameson, you can start, and then Kai, you can finish up after that. Just your thoughts on possibly running the Open.
Oh man, it would mean the world, and that's definitely the plan. But I mean, this group, like Kai said earlier, tightest group. Love all these guys. It's the closest group I've been a part of all 4 years of high school, being on varsity, and it would mean so much to me. My sophomore year, played that state championship game, lost, terrible feeling, and to get back there would be amazing, and to get that win, I think our guys deserve it, and we work so hard all year, all summer. And that would definitely mean the world to me, and mean the world to the program and the city of Mesa, everything. It would be awesome.
No, yeah, like he said, I mean, that would mean everything to me. That's what we want. That's what we worked for. And like we said, how good, tight of a group this is, and how just like we generally just love playing football with each other, man. We generally, if we can get this, as long as we put it together, I generally believe we will. That's what I feel like. That's what we deserve. That's what we want, man. I can't wait for it.
A couple of outstanding Red Mountain Lions joining us here on the program tonight. Kai Jackson and Jamison the Blade Wade from Red Mountain Lions. They'll take on the Liberty Lions this Friday night in a open division matchup. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Always great to catch up with you, and send our best to Coach Enders.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fellas.
Have a nice night. See y'all.
You too, guys. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more of the Desert Gridiron game plan. After the break, we catch up with the Liberty Lions. Get ready to feel the burn in Phoenix's newest hotspot. Hot Chicken Alley brings the sizzling Nashville-style hot chicken straight to your plate. Our finger-licking sandwiches will set your taste buds on fire. Come join us for a taste of Nashville right here in Phoenix at the corner of Tatum and Thunderbird. Brace yourself for a flavor explosion that'll keep you coming back for more. Hot Chicken Alley, a proud supporter of Thursday Night Football, right here on the Epic Sports Network.
On game day, communication is everything. Procom offers the most powerful, most reliable headsets on the market. Paired with our state-of-the-art coach-to-player communication tools, your team is sure to dominate. It's time to communicate like a pro. Visit us at procomheadsets.com.
All Insurance has been serving Arizona drivers for over 30 years, so we have the experience to take great care of you. We can help you over the phone or face-to-face from one of our 30 convenient valley-wide locations. We represent all of the top carriers, so we do the shopping for you. Find out why we're the most referred agency in Arizona. All Insurance, insurance for all.
It starts with a dream and a desire to be the best. You got the talent, you got the drive, and the work ethic. But to get recruited, it takes more than that. You need a playbook. That's where Recruit ID comes in. Our digital tools connect you with college programs that are fast, easy, and effective. Your dream is closer than you think. Let's get you seen. Visit recruitid.net and take your recruitment to the next level.
Discover more Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino.
Hi, folks. Here are your drinks.
Where having fun means racking up reward credits with the Caesars Rewards loyalty program that can be redeemed for food, free play, hotel stays, and more. Not only here in the city of Maricopa, but also at more than 50 Caesars properties coast to coast. From Harrah's Las Vegas to Caesars Palace in Atlantic City. What are you waiting for? Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino, the official sponsor of Play.
We welcome you back to the Desert Gridiron game plan. James Spoovy alongside Ed Cole and Jamal Gumo. Guys, what a great matchup it's going to be Friday night when Red Mountain takes on the Liberty Lions. Not sure if Liberty's going to be able to pop in here with us, but another season for the ages out there for those guys. And as the Mountain Lions mentioned, they have not lost to an Arizona team in quite some time.
That is crazy. They had a great season this year. Liberty 9-1, went undefeated in their section, 6A Desert Valley. Under Colin Thomas, Coach Thomas, it's been so great. Undefeated at home, so you know Red Mountain's going to have a tough one going out to the west side to knock off the Lions and be the first team to beat them at Liberty. That's going to be a tough challenge, and their defense is unbelievable, fellas. They shut out Mountain View to start the season, 37-0, and their defense has not looked back since, Jamal. They're giving up an average of 11 points a game. So, Red Mountain, good luck against that defense.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Liberty, again, is one of those behemoths, one of those monsters we've been talking about. And so Red Mountain has their hands full, and including both of the fellows we just talked about. I mean, especially defensively, Jamison he's going to have to play his best game of the season. I mean, he's going to have to keep Liberty behind the sticks. He's going to have to get them off schedule. He's going to have to make them one-dimensional. And so being the middle linebacker, being the Mike, that is going to be a lot on him. And so to kind of coordinate his defense. And so that's going to be the biggest thing to get Liberty off schedule, for a team that has not beat them or hasn't lost in Arizona in so long. And so, again, Red Mountain's going to have to play a perfect football game to go beat this team.
And they're going to have to keep their eyes on one Camden Siegel as well, as he is the Region Offensive Player of the Year, a tight end there for the Liberty Lions. And this young man can do it all. He can catch the ball out of the off the line of scrimmage, and he's also really good in the run blocking scheme as well.
Yeah, JG, this kid is a game breaker. 505 yards receiving, 8 touchdowns, and this just goes along with their running game. Jamal, they've got 5 running backs with over 100 yards rushing. So these guys can hit you from any direction. Whoever they shovel in can make plays. So Red Mountain, good luck, Mr. Wade, going up and trying to stop whoever they get in here, because they all have the same level of production and the same level of destructibility on offense.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how good this kid is. This Cam Siegel, it's ridiculous how good he is in both run blocking as well as in the pass game. And again, this Red Mountain defense is going to have to force Liberty to be one-dimensional, because if you know what's coming, you can prepare what's coming. And again, if you're able to use the play action, if you're Liberty, if you can use the play action and get the ball out to guys like Cam Siegel and get them out in space, it's going to be tough to beat this Liberty team. So if Red Mountain is able to make Liberty one-dimensional, be able to shut down the run and force the Liberty to pass the ball, it's going to make it a lot tougher. Not saying that they can win, but it's going to make it a lot tougher on them. But again, you're going to have to find some way to make Liberty make some mistakes.
Yeah, they're going to have to they're going to have to heat up that Liberty quarterback if they want to get him forced off the spot and make him. They're going to have to keep him uncomfortable all night, and then Jamison Wade and the rest of that Red Mountain defense is going to have to play really fundamentally sound, not overrunning plays, not opening up extra running or passing lanes for that vaunted Liberty offense. They're just going to have to be really sound fundamentally, but as we know, that's the hallmark of a Red Mountain defense.
And for Red Mountain, who do you account for? Do you account for Braden Stevens or Jaden Pico? They like to shuffle these guys in at the quarterback position as well. So I guess they'll prepare for both of them. And for Liberty, they're coming off a bye week, so they've had a little bit of a time to rest, recuperate a little bit, but still prepare for whoever their next opponent is, which happens to be Red Mountain. So you got a week off. Jamal, do they catch them on the bye week where they slipped a little bit, where they got a little bit complacent, got a little bit comfortable thinking, okay, we got a week off. We're chilling. We're good because we know we got a home game next week. But the Lions are going to be locked in and ready for Friday night.
Oh, absolutely. And I think what Red Mountain is going to have to do is they're going to have to play defense with their offense. What I mean by that is use their offense to keep the other teams to keep their defense off the field. So they're going to have to use Kai Jackson. They get the run game going, get 3-4 yards of play. They're going to have to extend these drives to try and win the time of possession, because if you win the time of possession, I like their chances in going to win the football game. But if you keep giving that Liberty offense time and time and time again, they're going to beat you eventually because of how skilled, how talented that they are. And so that's going to be the thing. And Kai Jackson, again, is going to have a great game along with that offensive line.
And JP, I'm going to throw out another name, Tyreek Cornett for Red Mountain. This kid is number 10 in the nation in kick return yards, almost 900 kick return yards. So we talk about all 3 phases, right? So if he can come up big for Red Mountain in the kick return game and set them up in great field position, maybe he busts one for a kickoff return for takes it to the house, or takes a punt return to the house, Jamal or James. That would be huge for the Mountain Lions.
Yes. Isn't it funny how the special teams play gets elevated and really put under the microscope, especially in the playoffs, because it comes down to explosive plays on offense, defenses being able to stop those big explosive plays, and then a couple of small things here or there, maybe a field goal try or a missed extra point, and all of a sudden that's the difference between continuing your season, possibly hoisting a trophy, or calling it the season and trying it again next year.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. And again, we've talked about it already today, fellas, the margin of error, not obviously for Desert Mountain, Liberty, who's had a fantastic season, but even for Red Mountain, the margin of error is so small. And so if you could take advantage of special teams, like you mentioned, at top 10 in the nation in terms of kickoff return yards, if you're able to bust one back, then you look at the Liberty sideline and they're like, what just happened? If you're able to catch them off guard, whatever small things you can do, fellas, the little things add up. The little things add up to something big at the end of the game. So if you're able to get the little things right and exceed and execute everything you're supposed to do, I like Red Mountain's chances, because that's a fighting team.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting game on Friday night. And don't forget, we'll have the Pinnacle Pioneers and the Salpointe Catholic Lancers coming to you live from North Phoenix at the corner of the 51 and the 101 freeway there. So we're looking forward to a great night of football out there. And we're excited for all the viewers that will be watching from Southern Arizona. Of course, a lot of people will not be able to make the trip up to the Valley for the game, the Salpointe Catholic fans. So we're excited to have them tune in and enjoy the broadcast. And guys, of course, we're going to have a whole lot of fun bringing it to everyone on Friday night as we usually do.
And the great thing for Salpointe Catholic, we will be on their side of the field broadcasting. So the Lancers are going to get a whole lot of love from us on that side of the field. But I would think they would bring a nice little contingent, Jamal. Whoever can, gas up. I'm sure they'll do a lot of caravans, maybe take some buses up here like they did last week when they came to Queen Creek. So this team, as you said earlier in the broadcast, Jamal, if you're going to win the state championship and you are Salpointe Catholic, you got to get used to getting on buses and caravanning and going to places if you want to host that golden trophy.
Absolutely, 100%. And I think on top of that, EC is what you have to take pride. You have to take pride in going on the road and telling the home crowd to be quiet. You have to make that. You have to take them completely out of the game because this is the playoffs. The atmosphere only rises, fellas. So if you make a big play and that crowd comes down, that the confidence, the momentum for the opposing team, for the visiting team, only skyrockets. And so if you're able to take that crowd out, make a big play, walk over to them, shush them a little bit, tell them to bring it down, tell them to be quiet, that's step one. That's step one. And that's the part I'm looking forward to most. It's who's going to have the pride, who's going to have the confidence, who's going to have the ability to go into that opposing team's crowd and let them know we're here.
There's few more things more satisfying than going into someone else's building, taking the bull by the horns, doing what you need to do, and coming out with a victory, and then you just leave and say, hey, we'll see you guys next season. We're playing on, and you guys are going to be turned in your pads. So it's going to be exciting. That's what we love about the playoffs. It's sudden death. It's do or die. And, all the preparation since spring football and into training camp and through your battle testing through the regular season has prepared you for this. And now it's time to strap up the cleats and get things going. So we're excited for Friday night. Guys, any final thoughts as we close this one out here on a Tuesday night?
Yeah, I'm just so excited for all these matchups, Jamal. It is going to be great. So whoever comes out, whoever wins, congratulations. And whoever falls out, that's just an unfortunate thing. But at least they made it to this point of the season that they can say that, hey, I got to this point in the open, in the 6A, in the 5A, all the way through, through the lowest divisions and the lowest conferences. But still, the fact that you made it to this point of the season is an achievement. Yeah,
it's time to put up or shut up. And boys, hey, let's go. I didn't play football. I played basketball and baseball, but give me a helmet. I'm ready to go. Give me a bonnet. Give me some pads. Where do you need me, coach? Put me in. I'm ready to go. It's playoff time. It matters the most. I'm locked in, fellas. I'm so excited. On a serious note, these teams have worked hard all season. It's go time.
It is go time for sure. Don't forget, we'll be on the air at 6:30 p.m. this Friday night from the home of the Pinnacle Pioneers for one final playoff game here on the Epic Sports Network. And then, of course, we'll have the Ed Doherty Awards for you live on Saturday, December the 13th. That's going to be a fun morning. We're going to have a Media Day celebration. We'll have that for you live with red carpet or green carpet interviews or whatever the case may be out there this season for the Ed Doherty Awards. And then we'll have the ceremony broadcast for you live as well. Right here on the Epic Sports Network. So thank you again for tuning in tonight. We hope you enjoyed this playoff preview of sorts, and we will catch you on Friday night for Salpointe at